Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about questioning God and why. Why? Meow. Meow. Okay, so I had to throw in some humor in there, but meow. Meow. Okay, so yes, I have to make it kind of funny because the videos can't be overly serious because you understand when you actually grow closer to God, you find out that God can make jokes too. God is funny. And God can make jokes. He literally came out with jokes. He invented jokes. So I'm gonna basically this video is gonna be very specific about what's going on in your life right now. Yes, you. I can see you through the video. I'm kidding. Well, sometimes I can, but not really. But some people are like ah. So basically, we're not supposed to question God's plan, but it's just as humans it's always gonna happen because we forget that we're not supposed to sometimes. But one thing that'll help you just fully forget is that his plan's awesome, and it's gonna be painless for you if you fully follow it correctly. And as in painless, it'll have some pain to it if you're going to the test and you're passing, but if it's something you need to address versus if the test is not even a test to you, like for example, if you're taking a medical exam and you know it somewhat, but you don't know it, and you're taking the exam, you're like, versus you memorize the whole exam, you're like, this is nothing. This is nothing. Nothing. Yeah. And yes, I'm silly. So basically, if the exam's nothing, you're like, whatever. I remember, I'll talk about this when I was in the military. Not in the military, when I was going into the military way back then, which is, I took the ASVAB and a bunch of other tests. Whatever they had. I mean, I can't fully remember. It's ASVAB and something else, and then these like physical stuff and whatever. And it was just easy for me. And I'm like, I thought I did it wrong because I just finished. I was the first one who stood up because it didn't make any sense. I went to college and I worked out and I was very fit before I actually started signing up. And this was around the time and I mean, this was a very significant point in my life. Let's just say I'm not going to say too many details, but I ended up not going because 68 Tango became 68 whiskey very fast. But I'm like, you're not going to swap me out. Oh no, no, no. But that's the thing. I'm like, and I pulled back out. I'm like, I guess I was looking around in life, and I have a lot more to that story. I'm going to talk about it in the future, but the thing is, you can't question God's plan. So if you're trying to question it, you're like, why is God making me? Why is he making me go through this? Why is this? Oh, like the point of that story is the tests were just too easy, and I was passing them. I'm like, what is this? So when the tests are so easy, they're not tests. It's like, okay, there's something a little off here because it's too easy. So you'll get a different test, and the next test was not going into it for specific reasons because you can't do this there. Let's just say that you can't do this there. So what you have to understand is you're gonna have points in your life where you're just like, why is God doing this? It's like you're gonna get like there's little things of frustration that pop up, and it can come in the contact of a person or a place or a thing. So and God won't be overly clear sometimes because he's not meant to. Sometimes the spirit of delusion will be sent and you'll kind of be confused on purpose because God wants you to be confused. It's like, okay. And that's the thing. I'm not talking about that in the Bible. The spirit of delusion will come. So basically God will mislead you temporarily to see if you're faithful. So basically you'll get lost in the maze, but then you're like, this is exactly how God works. So you'll get lost in the maze and then you'll ask God led you into the maze, and it's like, why would you lead me here if you're just gonna let me get lost? It's like why is this happening? It's like, you just led me in the maze to get lost, and then people who start questioning God like crazy will be kind of pulled away and like, oh, I don't trust anymore. Versus, he put you there to gain wings and fly. You can literally flap your wings. He gave you angel wings, and you just flapped out of there like, whoop. So I didn't expect that. It's because God's God. He'll literally do anything. He can override any spiritual law because he's God. He can literally make new spiritual laws whenever he wants because he's God, but he doesn't. He doesn't do that like that. It's just he made the laws, so we follow them. Now, what else can we understand about questioning God? Because it happens. You can't tell me that you don't accidentally question God. It's literally human nature. It's like you do it without knowing it. So, for example, when you say, God, can you remove someone out of my life? Can you remove something out of my life? Can you remove a whole location out of my life? And you're like, what the? It's like, why is this happening? But we have to catch yourself in the actual act of asking. And when we catch ourselves asking why, it's like, oh, it's because he's leading you to avoid pain. He's leading you to avoid pain. He's like, okay, come over here. It's like, it's for example, like, walk over to this side or walk over to that side. Come here. And you're like, but I don't want to. I'm eating food and I'm drinking whatever. And like, I'm sitting in a chair and saying, like, walk over here for a second. Like, stand in the fire for a second. And you're like, I'm not going to do that. It's like, no, thank you. But when you stand in the fire, it doesn't burn you. It's like, hey, it's a miracle. So he'll have you move over a little bit and you're like, okay, I understand why, because then something falls on the spot that you were on. Or, everybody was kung fu fighting. So, for example, he'll be like, duck, 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 left, right, and you might look like you feel kind of dumb, but maybe there's a ghost throwing punches at you. That actually does happen. So you're like, so it's kind of like, there's certain Chinese martial arts that basically say that basically you're following a routine, and it's like this. It just feels silly. It's weird, and it's not weird. It's just because you're doing the unknown. It's kind of like in the dark. When you start being able to see in the dark with a crystal such as Atacamite, you navigate through the dark and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. And actually it makes more sense. And you realize darkness is actually, physical darkness is actually how light is born. So when you're in the dark of a room, you're like, hey, I can kind of see in the dark. I'm like, oh, you open your third eye and your two eyes shut. So you actually started realizing more. It's like, hey, what's this? Pretty cool, huh? Very cool. So in God's plan, you have to, the biggest thing is about recognizing it, because things will get wacky. And just don't get upset. Don't get frustrated. Just go with the flow. It's a surrender. So surrender yourself to Jesus. Surrender yourself to the Most High God. So be like, okay, Jesus, I don't know what you're doing. And we can try to comprehend it, but the thing is, you ever have a problem going on and you're just like, I'm trying to understand it. Maybe he'll tell you later so you can learn, but you're trying to comprehend it now, and you're just like, I can't comprehend it. It's because whatever you're doing right now is literally more important. So he'll tell you later when it's not as important. So try to not be able to comprehend it. Be like, okay, I'll think about this later. I'm doing something now. Keep yourself busy. Have occupied activities. So keep yourself very busy. The angels, Lord, and the beautiful angels and the Holy Spirit emphasize keep yourself busy. So like, things will get weird. When they get weird, it means you're getting moved closer to. He's getting moved closer to being a superstar. Basically, you're getting moved closer to where you want to be, but it's weird. If you actually knew everything, you'd be where you want to be a long time ago. So just let God do it, because he knows everything. He knows how to get you there. Maybe it has to happen a certain set of ways for it to be yours forever. For example, when it comes to, that's the thing. Let's just say this is huge. This is actually enormous. I remember I play video games here and there, and I was playing an aspect of part of the video game, and I'm like, I just want to get this over with fast. Like, I just want to finish it. I desire to finish it. I don't like the word want. I shall not want. But I was playing the video game, and I'm like, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, it was nonsensical to me. And I was like, why? Like, I would just like to finish this fast, so the achievement of actually doing it. So I hope you guys don't hear the music in the background. So the thing is, you have to understand, it's like, after I mastered that in the video game, it helped me in real life. So in the video game, it's basically about you master flying dynamics, and I'm studying aerodynamics and whatnot or whatever, and different categories of how planes go up and how air can push a sailboat, and I'm studying different things. And it's literally, you're basically a bird in the video game, and you're flying, and it's a challenge to fly. I'm just like, I'm not gonna say which video game, guys, I won't tell you. So I'm like, I'm flying, I'm like, can I just fly? Because you're supposed to fly through the hoops or whatever. It's like a course. And it's very good for the mind. So video games, I'm going to talk about video games and the benefit of playing video games in the future. Don't play the hardcore ones or the intense ones. Play the ones that challenge you, but you could just walk away from it and not care. So I'm playing it, and I'm just like, what in the world? And I asked God, I'm like, well, can you help me finish the, and yes, you can ask God for help in the video game, because he's next to you. He's literally next to you. So I'm like, Jesus, can you help me with this? He's like, well, you got to learn it first. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I don't want to play this for long. So I actually got very good at it. Like, I always become the top at whatever I'm doing. So like, I top the charts in the video game, and for example, if you're supposed to race you're supposed to finish the race in 60 seconds, I did it in 50, which is unheard of. So it actually helped me understand, because the game actually copies real life in aerodynamics, and I'm like, okay, I know how birds fly now. I know how every little move, twitch, etc. in their wings, how specific it is to fly. So now I understand how birds fly. I understand how parachutes operate. I understand the trajectory of wind in north, south, east, west. I understand if you in the video game, if you dip, like if wind hits you a certain way, even if you're an MMA fighter in your real life and it's a little bit windy out, if you go against the wind even a little bit, that's a little bit of a disadvantage. If you go with the wind, it's going to seem like you're stronger, but you're actually going with the wind. So it's just like that whole question of like, why is this taking so long for me to finish? It's just a video game too. It could be something small, but that's the thing. It actually made me very intelligent in real life with actual aerodynamics. I remember I had an issue a long time ago that I 100% fixed with my computer, and it's because, I mean, let's just say I didn't put enough crystals around my computer at the time. I didn't know, and I'm like, what's going on? So there's a lot of energy around around the computer, and there was not enough crystals around it to protect the computer. And I don't know if it was like a power surge or something like that, and then the whole computer kind of like went slow, and then I had to literally study. I made a whole file on computers, and now I'm good at computers now. I know what does what, and in the future I'll go into coding, but if I didn't know that, I wouldn't know how specific they are. So it makes you brainy, but the thing is, when you understand why God moves you around certain places, you get very good at what you're doing. So he's making you good at what you're doing. Find in your life right now where you might not be upset or frustrated, but you're like a little bit like maybe annoyed. You're like, this is weird. Why am I annoyed right now? It's like, I shouldn't be annoyed at this. Like, and then God will watch you being annoyed, and he'll see if you figure it out. If you figure it out, you pass. If you don't, you fail. If you suffer from it, then he's going to send you more challenges. So that's the thing. It can be. And what about something big? I'm not talking about anything big in this video, because you guys, a lot of you question God in the smallest things, or you don't catch on as fast. It's always the little things. It's the little things in this video. So when it comes to big things in life, just like it's not big, it's benefiting. If it's big, it's a blessing. God won't do anything bad. So just consider everything that goes on a blessing, and your life will be much different. So everything will be a blessing. I saw a guy on basically, I follow a fitness page because the fitness page is good for me to learn new exercises, etc., and find out about nutrition and whatnot. I unfollowed it because the dude was getting too cocky, and he was using his brand to not be nice to people. He was just being mean. I come back. Actually, I don't come back. It popped up on my algorithm again, and I see his face is deformed. Like I don't know. He didn't say what exactly happened, but it's like a split. I think he got into some form of incident, and it split his face. If you know who it is, and you already know who it is, you can't miss the dude. And basically, the way he was looking at it is as you should look at it, because most people are like, oh, I'm angry right now. He's like, it's a blessing. And I viewed it as a blessing for him in a different way. Basically, I looked at it, and I'm like, because he was going really cocky, and he was putting people down. It's like making fun of people. And now he's mellow and calm, and he's actually giving people good advice, better advice, and now he's giving people life advice. So this entire experience you have in life, there's nothing bad that happens to you. Everything's good. God is good. Everything he does is good, unless you're being bad, and what you can expect is something bad. So tell yourself right now, and I'm not just saying this to make stuff up, everything that happens to you is good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Just stop considering anything that God has going for you as bad. It's good. This is a blessing. So if you're in agony or torment and suffering right now, it's like, just say, this is good. I don't know how, but this is good. This is just, when you view all as joy, all will be joy, and you'll manifest much faster. Just be like, okay, I don't know how this is good. I don't understand it. It's good. I give up. I surrender. I give my life to Jesus. And before you know it, that's actually how people win the lottery. You just give up. You give up. You're like, okay, I can't fight anymore. I can't. This is like, whatever. I'll just go with whatever God has for me. And when you're in a full surrender, like whatever, you just take the wheel. I did my part. Now I'm just being patient. So God's like, okay, cool, because God will get to live through you and literally navigate your life when you surrender to him. When you just like, because it's your life, it's co-creation. It's literally God put you here and he's with you. When you're just like, okay, God, I did my part, he'll take over and be like, okay, cool, I get to make a new journey. So he'll take your life and he'll live your life sometimes a little bit. He'll pilot you. And God likes glorious things, so he'll make it very glorious because he's the one piloting you. Do your part. Don't question God, even the small bit. So this video is about the little questions, like why, what's going on? Because you question God without even knowing it. All humans do. If you said you didn't, then it's not true, because every human does it. It's like saying someone asked me in my live yesterday, someone said, and this is the biggest thing ever, because someone's like, do you pick your nose? I'm like, does a dog bite? I'm like, every human who has a nose picks it even in their sleep. It's like, if someone says, I don't pick my nose, ever, my finger has never gone on my nose, that's a liar. That's a certified liar. It's like someone saying, do you poop? And yeah, do you poop? I'm like, no, that's not like me. I don't do that anymore. That's hilarious. So people are like, did you question God? No, I never question God. I'm perfect. Did you poop? No, I don't. That's not like me. So everyone does it. Does a dog bite? Does a bird have wings? Does a bird fly? Ask your questions in the comment section. Get a custom oratorial necklace from FloridaStoneman.com. It'll make your life miraculous. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. God bless all of you. Ciao.